Okay, welcome back. I changed a little bit of the audio settings for my microphone because I got that weird reverb to my voice again for some reason. I wanted to start from the main title to show you that I did delete this, so I'm not playing it in another account and learning what to do in advance. Not that I was ever really worried that people would think that, seeing as I was very upfront about, hey, I'm looking at guides for the puzzles in the DLC. But hey, I get paranoid about those sorts of things, so here I am. Isn't this... Yeah, why am I back here? Let's go back to where we were. I did see something off in the distance before I logged off last time that I want to go check out. And I have to get that flame. But first, I want to see what this is. I'm curious how much exploring I can do. Like, what's over there? That's next. You got some weird thing going on with you. Ooh.
Decorative for another puzzle.
Good question. Find my sprite and follow it until it leads you back to me. I also think I need to try and slow down how fast I speak, because I do tend to speak too fast and it comes across as mumbling. Because I think that's exactly what mumbling is, no? Just speaking too fast. But I find it very hard to do that. I'll attempt it, but I don't expect to get anywhere with it, to be honest. I'll mostly try and do it when I am reading off things I find like that. Discovery. A strange bicycle with 3 wheels, perhaps intended for children or pets. Okay, and the bridge ring. Not sure what to call this. Bridge ring? Bridge machine? Anyway, it's a device that takes particle clouds released by the puzzles and turns them into bridges made of tetrominos. Correctly assembling a bridge out of 8 particle clouds is required to reach the tower. So clearly another layer of puzzles. The simulation had tetromino puzzles too, although in a different form. Could their presence here be symbolic? I don't have a clue. Don't have anything new here. No, it will pop up if I find something new, I guess. Let us continue. I don't see a way to get out of this little crater I find myself in. But it's good to know that there is stuff to find when exploring. So I don't feel as bad about doing it at any given point. Especially when I already have puzzles lined up that I can do. So it won't turn out to be like the second episode where it's literally just exploring. And we got lucky that there are puzzles in the museum. What else could you possibly find? We do have this. I was right when I saw something to go in here. Door shut. Thing. Oh. Hello.
This is very similar to the structure where you found the schematics.
You don't say.
Check out the terminals. Maybe there's something that'll help us understand who built this place. They had to have left something behind.
There's terminals? Where? I saw that one down there, but is there something up here that I missed? No, it's just... Oh, this might be where some hidden things are, maybe. But I'm very bad at reading maps. Oh, server room. That is quite literally all this. Gotcha. We got nothing hiding over here. Guess it's just this. Bloop. Ah. I'm gonna watch that again. I feel like it created a hole. Yep. But it seems to be not a constant hole, so it's like creating a portal through it almost. What do we have? The 4.2 kiloyear event. 4.2 kiloyear aridification event. Author is BT Odhiambo, Valor 1. At Valor 1. From BT Odhiambo's Anthropocene Dilemmas. The Akkadian Empire, forged in violence by Sargon the Great and his sons, reigned supreme over the city-states of Old Sumer. Enriched by trade with distant lands, fed by the plentiful wheat fields of Mesopotamia, the empire bestrode the world with confidence and pride. Who could oppose the chosen of Anu and Enlil, the masters of the four corners of the world? Then the weather changed. The crops stopped growing, trade collapsed, the empire fell, its capital forgotten. The most likely culprit at the time of writing is the 4.2 kiloyear aridification event, the beginning of the Meghalian Age, a non-anthropogenic drought that may have lasted almost 2 centuries. Sorry, I was making sure I read anthropogenic right. Causing many of the earlier civilizations around the planet to collapse. This is where our ordinary understanding of time, measured on the small scales of human history, collides with the reality of deep time and our existence within a much bigger picture. We live on a changing planet in a changing universe. Climatic optimums are temporary. Extinction is the norm. Bunch of code. The Akkadians, like the more egalitarian inhabitants of the Indus Valley civilization, could not understand why the rivers dried out and the rain stopped coming. Sorry, I was thinking of The Sun is a Deadly Laser. The Entire History of the World, I guess, by Bill Wirtz. Great video. Even if they could, they lacked the tools to do something about it. A few short millennia later, we are on the brink of having that understanding and those tools. What can we learn from the tragedies of the past? Era 5358. One such drought, completely naturogenic, would be enough to wipe out New Jerusalem for good. So they're talking about us. Is this play about us? Never seen Euphoria. The First Companions. Author error. Same location. From unknown. Let's go here, okay. When the founder awoke, leaving the garden behind forever, there were 2 more whose bodies had been anointed by the progenitor. The gold disc breathed life into them, and their names were Eustathius and Cornelius. The founder showed them all she had discovered. Together they explored the dead city and saw the ruin to which humankind had fallen. It was then that the founder understood that the sins of the past must not be repeated, and that only through humility could the future be saved? Aside from Cornelius and Eustathius, there were 10 whose bodies the progenitor had not anointed in due time. Now it was upon the founder to complete this work and begin the resurrection. In this matter, Cornelius proved of great assistance. Code. After many tribulations, the 10 were brought to life, and these 12 that were born after the founder are called the first companions. These are their names, Eustathius 2, Cornelius 3, Aurora 4, Sun 5, Sarabai 6, Byron 7, Olympus 8, Yemo 9, Hypatia 10, Neve 11, Benaroya 12, and Liflasia 13. New person. It's funny how you can take something that's 90% true and 10% false and create something that's 100% misleading. Failed to load profile and failed to load comment. Okay, so I might get another snippet into who responded to that. I wonder if one of these people is the founder talking. Our first PC. And I wonder which is false. Maybe there is someone missing. Like maybe they erased someone and moved the numbers up. I don't know. The Noma Project 2. Also error. Trial 7 to 21, base cap established. Version 0.02 successfully deployed. Tested core functionality, so far so good. Trials 22 to 107, version 0.03 successfully deployed. Something simple synthesis, something, better cooling systems necessary. Version trial 108 is, oh, that's a big jump. Unless they've just decided to start labeling it differently. Trial 108, version 0.04 failed. Unknown error in calculations. These unknown errors will get you. Alright. Is someone going to talk to me about what I just found? No? Okay. Gotta look around and see nothing else changed. I think we're good. Oof, bright light. Burns. I'm a bit of a vampire when it comes to bright light. I hate it. It actually actively hurts my eyes. I do have blue eyes, so I know I'm a bit more sensitive to light than other colors. Why is there just a random recess there? What else do we have? Before I go back up, I want to keep exploring this basin. Alright. Nothing really to care about here. I think I'm back to where I jumped off, roughly. Yeah. I want to get up there, because that means I can definitely jump onto that flame. Oh.
Whether it is true that Daedalus constructed the giant Talos, or as others say he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze, and had but one vein, within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver, and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of that liquid caused him to die, as a man dies when he loses his blood. May we not then say that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man? He moved of his own volition, he spoke and could be spoken to, had wishes and desires. Indeed, in the tale of the Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If then a machine may have all the properties of a man, and act as a man while driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics. Yet even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood.
We read that passage back in the first game. Hi, Byron.
Tell me, what did you make of New Jerusalem?
I mean, it literally felt like a museum because they just had nothing but museums.
That's what happens when all you can think about is the past. We had such ambitions in the beginning, but now it's all turned inwards. We've lost faith in ourselves, in our humanity. All we need to do now is finish that dome and we'll be trapped in our perfectly neat little tomb.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Of course, ask away.
What do you think about the megastructure?
It's a mystery. Not just because it's technologically far ahead of us, but because we genuinely don't understand its purpose. And I think that's wonderful. It's just what we needed as a civilization.
What's the role of puzzles in our culture?
When Alexandra Drennan was trying to find a way of creating true AI, she stumbled upon the idea that curiosity and playfulness are core characteristics of intelligence. So she built the simulation around a game, because playing is part of what makes us human. We also retain some of that code, as I'm sure you noticed when you were booting up. Because of that, puzzles have always been important to our culture. To me, they represent the idea that the application of reason can lead us forward. None of which explains why these puzzles are here or who built them, but I think it shows that there must be some kind of intent behind them, perhaps a test.
True. Tell me about yourself first.
I'm someone who was born a long time ago, when we couldn't afford to romanticize the past and demonize progress, when the value of human civilization was evident because it was so close to being gone. I'm someone who believes that human beings are important, terribly, desperately important, because intelligent life is rare and precious. I suppose you could say I'm old-fashioned.
That's a pun, because it's true in two ways. You and Alcatraz have an odd friendship.
Because we disagree on just about everything, you mean? Well, here's the secret. Al is honest. He believes what he believes because it seems right to him, not because it gives him power over others. I respect that. In fact, I prefer that to someone who agrees with me just because I'm one of the first companions.
And that's very valid. No one wants a yes man. Except for, the rich idiots of the world. I wonder if I can get up that. I doubt it. I'm not really moving fast enough to make that jump. I don't think. Yeah, not with this height. Get here, but that doesn't get me anywhere. Maybe I get up there from inside this puzzle. I'll try that before I start leaguing my way around the area. Yes, this seems more likely. Actually, it's guaranteed. Never mind. Thank you. Achievement unlocked. The spark. I found one. Well, you got beams. They're not something to unlock this version of this game. I like the first game. Maybe we have to unlock jammers this time. Castling. Okay. Okay, so I've got red and green makes blue. Then blue and green makes red. I don't need that open anymore, do I? But I need the blue. Huh. It does say something to do about castling. So if I do that, it becomes green. And I just need the red. Oh, wait. I do need two. Never mind. I thought it was going to be obvious we just do that, but no, you do need two different ones. What if... because that blocks that. And that blocks that. Maybe I... Maybe we do that. Because that makes blue. Then I can do this over here to make red. There we go. Okay, just had to move things around a little bit. Oh, top left shows me my sparks too.
Keep solving these, 1K. Let's see where it leads.
I was going to. I'm also extremely curious as to where the other sparks could be.
I ran the samples I collected so far. The soil sample results are in line with what would be expected in this type of environment. The samples from the above-ground structures, though, I tried dating them, but the results just don't make sense. None of the typical molecular markers are present. These walls could have been made 10,000 years ago or yesterday. I could try to estimate an age based on erosion and plant growth, but I'm not sure that would make sense given how weird everything else is.
Good work, Yakut. Keep at it.
Yakut. It was like it's saying Yakut. What's this? The world endures. The word endures. Explore continental lost terminal. Okay. Founding 1. Hypatia. Hypatia's journal. How is this here? Did they say that more people left with Athena, or was it just Athena that left? Because this makes it seem like Hypatia left with her. From Hypatia's Journals, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem, Day 1. We finally set out from the dam today. The site that Athena and Cornelius picked for the city isn't far, but the vegetation makes the going difficult. We found the secondary supply site easily enough, thanks to Alexandra Drennan's instructions. But while I have to compile a detailed inventory, it seems that many of the more complex materials are in bad shape. They must have expected the simulation to fulfill its purpose a lot sooner. Isn't that missing an L? But then they probably expected all 12 of us to be there from day one, not just Athena. Tonight we have to use the 2 recharging pods that we brought from the dam in 4-hour shifts, which is just as well. There's no telling what sort of critters are hiding in the undergrowth, and most of them will have to learn that our kind isn't edible. Baby steps. Author Valerie Contera Romero. From the introduction to Are We There Yet? Where We Came From, Where We're Going, and Why You'll Need Snacks by Valerie Contera Romero. Sometimes people point at the last few hundred or thousand years of human history and say, look at how ugly it all is. Look at what a mess we've made. Maybe modernity was a bad idea. Maybe we should stick to living like cavemen. And I get it, it is ugly and messy. But the mistake is thinking that where we are right now is the end point, that this is the adulthood of the human species. I mean, try to apply what you know about human development to human history. Think about babies. Babies are ugly. Admit it. We all know it. They look like tiny old people covered in mucus. I've always said that. It's like people always say, oh, look at this, babies are so cute. I'm like, no, most babies are not cute. I do admit some are, but a lot of them just look like wrinkly old men. They have soft heads, and they grow into children, tiny sociopaths with underdeveloped brains. And then they become teenagers, pimply, self-righteous lunatics driven by hormones. And then, slowly, if you're lucky, they gradually become adults. The development of the human individual is always ugly and messy, but that's the point. It's development towards something. The same applies to humanity as a whole. On a geological scale, we've barely just come into existence. We've gotten through the baby phase, just about survived our childhood, but we're barely teenagers. Stopping here would be disastrous, and a betrayal of everything that we could still become. We may feel the weight of history on our shoulders, but this is just the prologue. To put it in pop culture terms, we haven't even made it out of the tutorial yet. Ugh. Just because it's all pimples and hormones and frustration right now doesn't mean it's never going to change. I hate reading this out loud is making me come to terms with the fact that I never really got over my speech issues surrounding Y's and L's for the most part. They're definitely not nearly as bad as they used to be, but they're definitely still there. Dead City. Author Elwyn. From Considerations of Beginnings and Endings by Elwyn 258. Okay, no. I mean, I think they were still around the 250 range. Because I think the person who said that they were there to know Athena but not very well was 256. So this person still could have left with Athena, but I doubt it. I think all that time Athena spent in the Dead City changed her. I don't think she had conceived of the goal before. I think she believed fully in the naively optimistic ideas of Alexandra Drennan. But walking through those ruins is a visceral experience, and she spent a great deal of time there looking for resources. Pardon me. It's the sheer amount of death that gets to me. How many animals our ancestors killed, many to the point of extinction. Entire species eradicated, sometimes for the most superficial reasons. Whenever humans arrived somewhere, death would follow. And then the great blowback. The death of billions of thinking beings, the extinction of humanity itself. It's too horrific to truly imagine, but I suspect the founder spent a great deal of time doing just that. That's when she must have realized that there was no way back to the growth-obsessed, all-consuming civilization of the past. I mean, very true. So, some animals really shouldn't have gone extinct. Like, I'm thinking of the more modern times when we definitely knew better. Like, for me, one I'm still mostly angry about, but less so now that I have hope, is the Tasmanian tiger. the thylacine, driven to thought extinction in the 1910s, 1920s, I think, maybe even earlier. I can't remember exactly the time. I did like a paper on it back when I was in primary school, so it's been a while. But there's been recent hints and suggestion that they might still exist in Papua New Guinea and like the very remote rural areas where tribes still exist. So there's no like real civilization and no way to know what's going on out there. It's a long shot, but I have hope. I want to have hope. But yeah. But that's also got me thinking that because we're so far in the future, there's probably so many new species of animals that have evolved. So that's 4. I want to go have a quick look around. Actually, no, I'll do 4 first, then I'll go have a quick look around. Still saying those 2 things this way. It's that's what I'm assuming it's saying. Alternative option. Is there 2 ways to do this? Alright. Obviously, I'm supposed to use these to get that. Hang on. Ta-da! Switch that off. Drop that here. Keep connections. Drop that there. Hit that. Oh, I need to do it there first. Hang on. I got ahead of myself. There we go. Why is it called alternative options though? Or option? These are still the basic questions teaching you how things work, so I'm not too happy if I can do it quickly. Private message. Doge. 1K. We met in New Jerusalem, if you remember. So Doge was 666. I spoke to my friends. This whole mysterious island expedition thing has the city a bit on edge. They have some questions for you before I make any introductions. Do you consent to my gathering and sharing your personal data? Wait, what am I signing up to? Look, my friends just want some assurance that you're the right kind of person. If you want to know what's really going on, you have to play along. You can back out at any time, but if you don't engage with the process, then, well, you won't get to engage with the process at all. It's up to you. What if by consenting I miss out on something else? Okay, so this is a hint about how the game works, I guess. I'll give you some advice, newbie. When your choices matter in this world, you'll know about it. It's somehow built in. When you face a dilemma and both options look good, then for sure you'll miss out something. But trust your gut and you can't go wrong. This right now is not one of those dilemmas. You should come along for this ride. That's my advice. I mean, I don't really think I should trust you, but for the content, I'm going to. I consent. Good choice. There's 6 questions, standard vetting procedure. We'll get the best results if you answer in whatever way is most true to you. Question 1. Which is more important for making good decisions, compassion or knowledge? I mean, it's both, but it's also depending on what you consider a good decision. Like good for who? Good for just me? Good for the greater whole? I also want to know what happens if I reject the terms of the question. I know it's difficult to translate our infinite reality into binary language. Nonetheless, I suggest if you have any natural inclination towards either idea, you answer that way, even if it's not strictly correct. But if you insist, I'll communicate your apathy to my companions. I mean, probably knowledge then. So I do see a way to choose. Like, compassion is all well and good, but you can make the compassionate choice and have it be completely wrong. At least with knowledge, you should be doing something right. Thank you. Question 2. Is it ever okay to lie or misdirect in order to keep a secret? I mean, this one I'm more okay with saying yes. You're keeping a secret. Because depending on the terms of the secret, knowledge of the secret itself can be, in a way, revealing the secret. Like, thinking of like very benign things like surprise birthday parties. If someone even has like an inkling and they ask you and you refuse to answer, then they know it's a yes. But if you say no, they're likely to just believe you, or not, depending on how skeptical they are and how well they know you. But you know, that's a whole other bag of worms. Bag of worms, can of worms. So yes, lying can be okay. I see. My friends will be most interested in this particular answer. Question 3. When people do wrong, do they deserve to be punished for it beyond what is necessary for our own protection? Thinking. They don't. Beyond what is necessary. Like, but what's necessary? Who determines that? And who determines what's beyond necessary? Like, bad behavior being punished so it tries to deter. Oops, sorry. Hitting the mic there. But bad behavior being punished to deter future reoffenses. But that doesn't even work now. People commit crimes, go to jail, come out, and just as often to commit the same crime as to not. I don't know the exact odds, but it feels like it's similar. But that might be skewed by people already like very inclined to crime. I don't know. Wow, that's a shame. This is supposed to be an opportunity for you to tell us who you are. Question 4. Now it gets metaphysical. In your opinion, can the world be reduced to mechanical parts? Or is existence just weirder than we'll ever really know? I mean, it's both. Of course it is. Look, I don't write these questions, I just ask them. If you don't want to choose one or the other, I'm quite happy to forward that to my friends. I was being honest though, it is both. It is both weird in the way that there's some things we might just never understand, but there's always a chance that we can understand it with enough knowledge of other things. Like every little bit we learn moves us forward in what we can learn. Gravity was such a late invention compared to human history. Or invention, like discovery, I should say. So like it didn't exist before it was quantified, but we didn't know it existed until we quantified it. We just accepted it as a way of the world, like, okay, we exist. So what? Question 5. Can things really change for the better, for good? Or do good times and bad just come around in cycles? It's a false dilemma. Well, nothing really changes for good. It's something you've got to keep working at. So I think it's a false dilemma. Yeah, I don't know if that one was metaphysics or politics, but regardless, I didn't like it either. Final question. Which is more important to the success of civilization? To respect the lessons of our past, or to rewrite the rules for our future? We should not let our future be defined by our past. We should not disregard the wisdom which brought us here. It's both. But we definitely can't be defined by our past. Thank you, we're all done here. Oh, hold on, I've got a last minute addition. Ugh, it's a weird one. I know who this one came from. Alright, question 7. Can praying for something make it more likely to come true? So this is asking if you believe in a higher power, more or less. I'm going to say the question's too vague. Because in a way it could, because if someone hears you pray, they could be moved enough to try and help it become a reality, and therefore it is more likely to come true. So, yeah. Kind of an anticlimax to this whole process, but okay. I think that's everything I need. I'll forward your answers to my friends and let you know if any of them is interested in taking things further. Shouldn't it be if any of them are interested in taking things further? I don't know. I do too much reading sometimes. Alcatraz puzzle about puzzles. It seems that each of the structures on the island, with the exception of the megastructure itself, is surrounded by a cluster of puzzles resembling those found in the simulation and in our buting sequence. Buting sequence. Completing a puzzle releases a particle cloud, which then autonomously flies into the device that assembles tetrominos. The puzzles even come with titles, hijacking the vestigial code designed to display puzzle names in the simulation. It's unclear whether this represents a potential security issue, but the matter should be given consideration. Let's check the time real quick, because we're getting a bit close. Byron about the tower. There's an ambition expressed by this building, a sense of purpose that I find really admirable. It's big, but it's also intricate, detailed. That feels like a statement. We should explore this building as soon as possible. Don't rush me, Byron, jeez. I do what I want. Alright. Don't even need to keep that going. That's interesting. I doubt I can get the cube out of here. The only chance I would have is on this, but yeah. Can't drop here. How dare you? How dare you, game? I want to break things. Let's go exploring a little bit. So this is the way to another puzzle. I saw the hint of the gate to my left over there. Pardon me. We've been down there. No way else. Way up, down there. Up, down, down. This is one of the lost ones. Okay, so it should be harder, because it's not trying to teach me anything. What do we have around the area first? And I also wonder if there's a way to... Actually, is there a way to know? Yes. No. I was trying to see if there's a way to know how many sparks there are around here, but there's not. Oh, the Lost Labs thing I found with the terminal. Okay. That can turn into a ladder I can climb afterwards. Elevation.
It's strange that some of these puzzles seem disconnected from the rest. Like it's all unfinished.
Or still evolving.
It's just a connector. It's not one of the things. They do exist. So that's where I gotta get the light to. Okay, so this is gonna be that. I use this connector to get that to blue. No. Wrong. I use that to get the blue. Which means I can get this out. Then green and red becomes blue. How do I get it to stay that way? Ah, shush. Because I know I need to get this to keep it there somehow, but how when the green blocks it? Oh, I used to block, obviously. Because then I can grab this. I can safely grab this. And I can grab this. It's teaching me about elevation. The clue is in the name, and incoming group call.
I have good news and I have bad news. Still no idea what those particle clouds are, but I've managed to fix the transport system. I mean, I fixed another bit of it. Well, it goes to one more station now. Don't complain. 2 stations are better than none.
I wonder what's waiting for us there, but I'm going to say an impressive success rate.
Sarcasm. Famously helpful. Why did we bring you along again?
Sorry, it was meant to be a joke.
Relax, newbie. I'm just pulling your leg. Which
Okay.
I helped make, by the way, so you better be
So she
grateful.
likes sarcasm. Good.
Let's stay focused. We're in unfamiliar territory. We can't afford to get distracted.
Al's right. Yakut, what does the next site look like?
It's a plateau in the mountains. Seems like more of an open area with scattered
I love
structures.
that cat.
Less enclosed. Couldn't tell much from the drone feed. There's a lot of trees. Looks pretty though.
Okay. Keep exploring, everyone, but stay alert.
What if I don't want to stay alert? Alright. Way out. That did not turn into a ladder for me. Rude. I don't have a lot of time to do exploring right now, but we're going to do a little bit of it. Because, hey, it's my playthrough, I can do what I want. Trees creaking, still ominous. Even though this is not a non-combat, non-horror game. I mean, you could probably consider it existential horror. Is that funny? It is, and I'm faster than it. Oop. Alright, got all these things. Hello? Why do you exist? Are you trying to blow up? Did you blow up in the past? Do I need to do something else? I've also been ignoring the compass this entire time. I've just realized it's still there again. So who knows if I forget about it. If I start using it, I might remember, but I doubt it. Hey, I'm back to where I tried to get you before. At the very beginning of the map. Down there is 5. You got one of these I can actually look at better now because it's closer to the ground. Pardon me. Anyway, I reckon I got a little bit of time. I want to try and keep these under 1 hour if I can help it. He wants it to go in there, that's fine, we do that afterwards. What's this? Golden Gate, again. Okay.
Another set of golden gates. These must be connected to the ones near the megastructure.
There was a harder set of puzzles in the simulation, right? And maybe they're like that.
Oh.
I know one case probably like, yay, harder puzzles. But to me, that sounds like error code 704. No thanks.
How rude. So I was like, yay, more puzzles. But how rude. Did 4, 5 is down here. Oop. I thought I saw Spark. I guess I'm just seeing things. Hey, well. Okay, so I can step on that, but then I can't do anything else. Yep, this is 5, so this is where I saw at the beginning. Oh, I got another thing there. Might do the puzzle and then do that, and then call it for this episode. Through the door. Pull the lever, crunk. One lever. Alright. Ah, Jamie, my friend. I think I'm gonna jam that, yeah. It's teaching me I can jam through the purple doors, I think. Alright, so I get to do this, I reckon. Put you there. I'm gonna do that and that. No, I'll do this first. So I can do that. Then I pull this one in to do that. There we go. Alright, progress wheel.
Good. Let's get some measurements from this particle cloud.
Oh. Hey, Byron. Good new content in the interface. That's fine. I guess I'll do it now. City news. Crier. The long-awaited birth of our 1,000th and final citizen was interrupted today by an unknown projection in the skies. The projection, which identified itself as Prometheus, goaded New Jerusalem inhabitants in indecipherable incantations. The source of the projection was tracked to a remote, mysterious island. A team led by Byron is now en route to find out more. Other members of the expedition include Alcatraz, Melville, Yakut, and 1K. Mayor Herman Ubis has once again called for calm and promises that New Jerusalem will be safe so long as its citizens do not forget the ideals of the goal as set forth by the founder. Okay, my research. Lost puzzles by Yakut. Some of the puzzles seem to be disconnected from the rest. They're still functional and can be used to power the bridge device, which means it should be possible to reach the tower without solving every main puzzle. But they don't seem to be properly integrated. Could they be remnants from a previous iteration of the design? Ah, okay, so I guess if you get stuck, it's giving you options to do something else to still progress the story. Gold puzzles. Looks like there's an additional set of puzzles protected by golden gates that can't be accessed yet. Assuming there is some kind of logical pattern to all this, those gates will probably open once the correct conditions are met. Does that mean solving all the other puzzles, or maybe something else as well? Hard to know at this point, so perhaps something we should prioritize much later. I am going to prioritize it much later, but we'll hold off on it for now. Let's see if I can get through this reading real quick. Cool, there's only 2 of them. And then we can end on me not reading. So first we go with Trevor. The Life of Trevor by 5358. Trevor Percival Donovan, known to his friends simply as Trev, never as Percy, was part of the Extended Lifespan project that formed the backbone of the simulation and the archive. That's right, there was a secondary thing going on. He helped put together the hardware that made all of us possible. Like Alexandra Drennan, he left behind a series of messages to the future. But unlike Alexandra Drennan or Arkady Chernyshevsky, he was forgotten. Not one building or street in New Jerusalem is named after him. I dug up his files from the archive, and I've been thinking about them a lot. Yeah, so Extended Life was going on concurrently and not technically the same. To Trevor.
So I heard that Alexandra is recording these time capsules for you out there, I guess? Robot people of the future, hi. And I thought to myself, surely they'll want to hear more than the wisdom and insight of a brilliant scientist like Alexandra Drennan. Surely they also want to know what I was thinking, a dumbass hardware engineer from Staten Island. Tell us about your insights, Trevor. Why did you spend your last months on Earth helping a crazy old Russian guy build the world's biggest backup drive? Well, let me tell you my story. When I yes, Frank! I'm recording right now. Uh-huh. No. You know what? Why don't you go...
Oof. I do remember Frank from the thing. The first game. Alright, we'll inspect this and call it a night. And first done, cool. That's where I was going to go next, I guess. Let's just look at it and call it. Alright. An ancient mechanism of unknown functionality. It's impossible to reconstruct the purpose of this device. Isn't it a pump? Anyway. Thank you for watching this one and joining me on this journey. I shall see you all in the next one. Ciao.